My name is Miriam Shaw, Executive Director of the Arab American Civil Rights League. Today we stand together not only to shed light on a troubling case of discrimination, but to take a stand against a pattern of injustice that has persisted in our community for far too long. Ehab Al-Jabaili, a Dearborn resident, has bravely come forward after experiencing a blatant discrimination at the hands of a local car dealership. After they learned of his Arab Muslim descent, he was immediately dismissed with the words, "Oh, you're Muslim," end of conversation. Upon Mr. Al-Jabaili filing a complaint with the dealership, the manager assured him that such behavior would not be tolerated and that the employee responsible would be fired for her actions. However, just days later, Mr. Al-Jabaili discovered that the employee was still working at the dealership. He called again to follow up, and this time the manager's tone completely changed. Instead of addressing the matter seriously, the manager dismissed him and transferred him to the owner of the business, where Mr. Al-Jabaili was met with even more disregard for the situation. Rather than doing the right thing, terminating an employee who had blatantly discriminated against a potential customer, the dealership allowed her to remain in her position. This sends a dangerous message that discrimination is acceptable, and that no real accountability will follow harmful actions, and that people will be allowed to continue their behavior without facing consequences. It is confirmed that this employee still works there, and that is unacceptable. This is not just an isolated incident affecting Mr. Al-Jabaili, but a reflection of the broader discrimination that many individuals face every day. Discrimination based solely on their race, religion, and ethnicity. This is not just one instance of unfair treatment. It is indicative of a larger issue where people continue to be marginalized and treated unjustly because of who they are. We cannot and we must not allow this to continue. If we let this kind of behavior go unchecked, what message are we sending to the people of this community, to our children and our future generations? We are sending this message that discrimination is acceptable, that hatred is tolerated, and the rights of individuals can be trampled upon without consequence. This is unacceptable, and we cannot stand while this happens. We are in a climate of extreme hardship where the fear of discrimination is not isolated experience, but a daily reality for many, particularly with marginalized communities. This lawsuit is about more than just one person. It is about making sure that no one else has to endure what Mr. Al-Jabaili had faced. We are here today to say enough is enough. We will not allow discrimination to fester in our communities. We must shed light on these issues, speak out against them, and demand change. The Arab American Civil Rights League is committed to advocating for the civil rights of all individuals, regardless of their race or religion. We will continue to fight for justice, and we will not stop until discrimination is rooted out and equality is truly achieved. Thank you again for your support in covering this important issue. We ask for your help in raising awareness and ensuring that no one else will have to face what Mr. Al-Jabaili experienced. I'm turning it over to the founder and chairman of the Arab American Civil Rights League, Nabi Hayad.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, media, for all being here. As you know, I've always praised you guys for being here, and you guys are the the gatekeepers for justice as we move along. And this, with all that's going on around the country these days, we feel a lot of hatred that's going on, a lot of policies that are coming out of the White House, and we feel that yet emboldens people to do certain things. And unfortunately for Ehab Al-Jabaili, he was met with one of those everyday life situations where you're trying to sell a vehicle or purchase a vehicle, and you're met with the discriminatory intent of this particular individual. It's very sad if you think about it. Southeastern Michigan is home to the largest concentration of Arab Americans and there's very much large Muslim Americans in the region. And for this individual, this Jessica, to be so blatantly disrespectful of this Mr. Al-Harabi's background, being a Muslim American, is just absolutely uncalled for. Her actions, and then for her employer's actions, this Big J's Auto, to disregard what Mr. Al-Jabaili went through, it's just really hurtful. It's hurtful in the sense that this individual knows where he's residing at, an American citizen living in the largest concentration of Arab Americans outside of the Middle East here in the United States, for them to take such action against this individual. I don't know what world that they would think that they were living in, that they can just blatantly, under text message in written, what's going to say, oh, you're a Muslim, end of conversation. It's very, very degrading. It's not only degrading, it's unconstitutional, it's illegal, and action has been taken this morning. We filed in the Macomb County Circuit Court a complaint against this individual as well as her employer, Big J's Auto, and seeking under the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act damages for the traumatic and horrific thing that this individual had to witness. To say that because you're a Muslim American, Arab Muslim American, you cannot do business with us is truly disappointing, concerning, in violation of our constitutional rights, as well as violation of this state's constitutional rights, and a violation of our American norms that we take so hardly each and every day. So with that being said, we did bring this lawsuit. We're hoping that this agency, this business understands that there are laws in place that you simply cannot do that to individuals of whatever race that you are, whatever religion that you are. And we're taking this action to bring justice to Mr. Al-Jabali and his family. Now, with that being said, we hope it sends a strong message that even though there's some bolden decisions going on a national and international level, we still believe in our Constitution. We still believe in our First Amendment rights. We still believe our due process. We still believe in discrimination laws. And we intend that these laws are upheld and forcefully implied by our judiciary system. And that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Ihab Al-Jabali to speak to you as to what he had to endure in this very unfortunate circumstances that he had today and last month.
Hello, my name is Ihab Al-Jabali, and did you just want to brief? So just recently, I tried to sell a car to a dealership, and long story short, she pushed me away, and all because I was Arab American Muslim. I honestly did not think in my almost 30 years of living in the United States that I would have to endure anything like this. And no one should have to endure anything like this, no matter if you're Muslim, Christian, anything, as long as we believe in the Constitution and we come to this country to change our way of life and not have to deal with things like this. And I hope no other person has to deal with this ever again.
Talk about the calls you made.
There was a couple calls made right after the incident, and this dealership not only did they not try to do the right thing, they doubled down and they made me feel even worse than what I was feeling. I thought the problem was over. I made a review about that dealership. I called them back. I explained my situation. They said they understood. I went out of my way to delete the review just so they do not look bad. And everything is recorded on phone call. Just a couple days later, after calling the dealership back to try to sell the car back to them, the same lady that discriminated against me answered the phone, which gives the fact that she's still working there. I felt really disrespected, and it's like they blatantly did not care, or they would have took matters in the first time the incident happened, which they said they did, but a couple days later they totally changed their tone, and they still have her working there. And the owner and the manager, they did not want to help, not one bit, or even look into this. They just pushed me away, brushed me off. And I just hope this doesn't happen again.
What would you say to the owner if he was watching, or that woman or the manager? What would you say to them?
I really hope, you make the right decision, and you not only treat your values and integrity and morals with respect, but look at other people and how they're living and put yourself in their shoes. And you shouldn't be able to say anything you like to anybody just because you feel like it. We're all here for a reason, and that's to feed our families, or whatever. We're all here to make a better living for ourselves. And I just hope this doesn't happen, not only because I'm Muslim, but I just really hope this doesn't happen again to anybody, whatever race you are, whatever ethnic religion you believe in. I just really hope this incident does not happen again. During the text message of when I first tried to contact the dealership, I simply just asked Jessica, one of the sales team managers, to help me sell my car. I was messaging her through the text messages on Facebook Market because that's where the business has their cars listed on. And long story short, I sent her pictures and information about my car. She said she's interested. I told her I was out of state at the time, and I was going to have someone else come show her the car, a mechanic of mine, who is my uncle, who lives around the area of where I live. So as soon as I told her that, she said in the text messages that she was going to come strapped with her cousins or something like that, which is very hostile. I did not know how to reply to that. I just replied with one simple reasoning of what I believe in, and that's that I'm Muslim, and that there is no way I would ever do anything to ruin someone's life or business or anything like that. And all my intentions were just to sell the car. And, excuse me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I just wanted to sell the car to her. And right after I told her, right after she told me that she's going to come strapped, blah, 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 with her cousins, which is very defaming and very hostile, I sent her a voice message saying that I'm Muslim. And at the time, it was literally, Ramadan at the time too, so it was our holy month. And so she's telling me this stuff, and I'm just shocked to actually hear this stuff. And I told her, there is no way. I don't want you to think that you will ever be scammed. I'm Muslim, and we don't do those type of things. And that's just the way our religion teaches us. And she doubled down and replied with, I quote, "Oh, you're Muslim? End of conversation." And that's where it ended.
Which dealership is this?
Big J's Auto Sales.
Big J's Auto Sales?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right across from the Amazon facility?
I'm not really sure, but it's in the city of Macomb.
Shelby Township.
Shelby Township.
Shelby Township, yeah.
Shelby
It's actually,
Township.
the official name is Hayes Auto Repair, Inc., doing business as Big J's Auto Sales.
Also, one more note. They said as soon as that happened to me, as soon as she became very discriminative, I called the dealership and asked to speak to one of the managers or owners or whoever's in charge. I did so, and the manager, Julian, answered the phone, and we have the recording, the phone call recorded. And Julian was, I don't know, was trying to maybe just push me away at the time.
Again, Julian told you that she's fired.
Yes,
correct? Okay,
yes.
just tell him
He
about
told me-
that, please. Let's move on to what's going to end this already.
He told me that he was going to fire her, and that he took her phone at the time of the incident, and he looked at the messages, and he said, we don't appreciate racism, and that he was going to fire her that day, and that there's nothing else he can do about it other than firing her. And just a couple of days later, I called to see about my car, if they can help me sell it. And who answered the phone? It's Jessica, still working there.
What would you say to Jessica right now?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What would you say to Jessica right now?
I mean, I hope she doesn't, I hope she thinks twice next time someone talks to her, or a customer, or anybody, no matter what ethnicity they come from. I really hope she puts her personal reasoning aside and just deals with business the way business is supposed to be dealt with, and that's personal, of course.
You know, what's concerning is this Jessica, if you look at her Facebook, she says she worked as a nurse, and that's very concerning to us that she's dealing with everyday health situations for people's lives and her nursing thing as well, and whatever her prior past is. And to think that this person has this mindset that she doesn't really give a crap about individuals that are of Muslim descent and what have you is very scary and very concerning. So I hope she gets her priorities and a more compass right, because honestly, this is very concerning to all individuals that they have to go, regardless of your background, creed, or religion. You know. Do you have any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate you. Okay. Okay. Are you all right?
Yeah.
He said Big J's Auto in Shelbytown.